Welcome to Loot Rascals. Or would that be Rascals? I suppose Rascals comes off the tongue easier, so we'll go with that one. Developed by Hollow Ponds, we have an adventure RPG this time around. And it was released on the 7th of March this year. This one was in the recently finished Day of the Devs bundle via Humble Bundle. At a glance, I had no idea what to expect from this game. The art style looked very peculiar. Firstly, a quick look at the options. There's nothing really noticeable here to worry about. Subtitles on or off. Select character gives you a choice of basically a male or a female to pick from. I hoped there would have been more characters to pick from, but as of yet, I've not found anything. A few graphical settings. Nothing too weird here to comment on, apart from the fact that there are no bloody tooltips anywhere, so I have no idea what half of these settings do. Which is a bit of a shame. I love my tooltips. Give me tooltips. Audio settings are very basic. I prefer sliders, as you know, but I guess this will have to do. Does the job, I guess. Now, keyboard settings. Everything is rebindable, which is always welcome. Quite a few keys you will use a lot, others, not so much. Movement is simple enough. Action buttons I don't think I have used not once. The HUD option is basically an inventory key, and you will use that one quite a bit. The dome is a central hub of each level. You might use that binding, but it does come at a very hefty cost, which I'll speak about in a little while. Decompile card and show help for cards are used often. Lastly, languages supported, you can see here. And there's quite a few to pick from, which is always nice. So, enough of that. Some gameplay. And what on earth is going on? I'll start off by saying that the tutorial is worth doing before you hop into the main game. It clears up a lot of things. The game can be a little bit complicated if you don't know what you're actually doing. The game features some very nice mechanics that gel very well together. It has a turn-based system, it has day and night cycles, and random generated maps. The randomness of the generation, in my opinion, is quite clever. Replayability is always present due to this method. Now, people have reported that they found this system to be broken, and that you're thrown into unbeatable scenarios. Personally, I have not seen that yet. If the game was constantly beatable, it'd be pretty boring, wouldn't it? The game challenges you in a few ways, and the random seed generator is one of those methods. I actually wish more games had this, so replayability is something of value. Now, a little bit about the turn-based system. You use one turn when you move in to another grid space. You get 250 turns to find the exit of the map before it starts to get a little bit tougher. After 250 turns, you will start to see these weird little monsters spawn from where you killed previous monsters. And these things are not very pleasant, they hurt quite a lot, actually. You then get 50 more turns to try and escape before even bigger baddies show up. After that, you get another 50 turns, you get a lot of turns, before a figure, who is basically death, shows up, and basically you are screwed. Well and truly. Death will ignore turn counters, teleport all over the place. It's pretty much game over as soon as this guy turns up. Speaking about the central hub, you can get back to it any time during your playthrough. However, if you use that key to head back to your central hub, it does use up turns. So, yes, you can get back to the hub easily, but you're going to lose a fair amount of turns doing so. I think it's like 25 turns or something. The objective of the map is pretty clear. On a randomly generated map, get to the end teleporter to advance to the next level, while killing stuff, looting things, and trying not to die. Every 5 turns will switch the game between day and night cycles. This has a really clever mechanic behind it, which can make exploring rewarding, or a massive problem. This is due to the fact that certain monsters will attack first, or defend depending on the day and night cycle. For example, Wooks, which are those weird, hairy, cousin-it looking things with 3 eyes, they will attack you first if it's daytime. However, if it's on the night cycle, you attack them first. This is essential for survival. Generally, you want to attack first, the exception being if you have a crap ton of defense, then you can usually soak most of the damage and you'll simply end up smacking them and winning. Now, killing stuff sometimes will give you loot in the form of cards. These cards you can equip in your inventory by tapping the spacebar. You have 10 slots where you can equip attack or defense cards. Each card has either attack or defense on it, and some even have other requirements to enable more power. For example, a card might have more attack power if it's placed in the bottom row, or another card might give the card on the left of it more defense. You have to manage the inventory as best as you can to get the most out of the cards you actually find. I've put a few hours into this game already and I can't get past level 2. It's bloody difficult, but despite this, it's been a few fun hours of gameplay. Its random generator means nothing is the same twice. You really have to plan ahead and make sure each turn counts. And managing inventory is a nice touch. Now to something else people have complained about, but to which I really don't see any issue for, which is the lack of a save system. Playthroughs in this game are pretty fast. Once you die, you start over from the beginning. So if I die in level 2, tough luck, back to level 1 with no inventory. The style of gameplay and the way death is handled, there's no real need for a save function in my opinion. I think there's 5 levels total. Each one could take about 15 minutes, so an entire playthrough could venture over to 90 minutes, possibly more. Because I am terrible at this game and, well, I don't really know for sure how long a full playthrough would take. So while some people will dump on this game just for that alone, I don't see it as an issue myself. Like I said, whatever time I put into this one, I have enjoyed it. The graphical style is pretty odd, but for some reason, it grows on you over time. I have come to admire it for some reason, and the soundtrack is very catchy to accompany this game. The characters are all odd and wonderful, with weird voice acting, but that couples with it greatly. I've laughed to myself when a monster hops towards me shouting its own name. It's brilliantly done, in such a silly way. It's a great... I guess I'll use a word the cool kids use these days. Rogue-lite game. And for saying I got this next to Grim Fandango for $1, I'd say that's money pretty damn well spent. I have to say, this one is worth picking up in a sale for sure. I don't think its retail price of £10.99 is worth it. Maybe if it was a few quid cheaper it would gain more traction. Because all in all, it's a great little indie title. And I really want to see what the development team at Hollow Ponds has in store next for us. I don't think I have played anything like this before, and it certainly stood out for me. Final verdict, it's one to put on your wish list and watch for in a sale. It's a fantastic strategy game with a lot of deep thinking certainly involved, if you are to finish it and not be terrible like me. Links to the dev's website and the Steam store down below in the description. I urge you to check them out. Back to getting killed a lot, I suppose. Might make it to the 3rd level. Although, with how it's gone so far, I highly doubt it. See you next time.